Before we get to this video, yet again, I'm going to talk to you about FUTTRADING.co.uk. I know a lot of you get annoyed by it, but it is what allows me to do this job full time. So thank you to everyone that has subscribed so far this year. The feedback has been phenomenal. But FUTTRADING.co.uk is a website that was launched by myself and Dan, aka V273, over on Twitch, whereby you guys learn how to trade and get given buying and selling prices for so many cards. We're talking thousands of cards on the market. And just gone live right now is our League SBC investment guide where you guys can make hundreds of thousands of coins from. And icons are now live on the site, buying and selling prices for pretty much every single icon on this game. It's £10 a month for tier 1, which gets you access to all the buying prices and selling prices. And £15 a month for tier 2, which gets you access to our amazing live filters tool, which helps you guys make thousands of coins immediately with some of the best sniping filters on this game. You also get access to this CHEM style calculator, tells you what to sell your cards for, and a trade storage area which we have built ourselves for you guys to use so you can keep a track of how much coins you are making every single day on this game. Make sure you check out FUTTRADING.co.uk, but for now, let's get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. As always, if you're new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you never miss an upload. Check me out on Twitch, click the link down below, come over to Twitch, check out FUTTRADING.co.uk. Make sure you join our free Discord, over 1,200 people now part of our community, making coins, having a good time and getting to know each other. But this video is all about the fact it has finally happened. EA have brought out the first League SBC for FIFA 21, or have they? So basically, EA dropped the CONMEBOL and Libertadores League SBCs last night onto the game. We're going to talk a little bit now about the issues with them, and then we'll talk about how you can make coins from them. But let's talk about the issues initially. EA brought them out, and there were, number one of my big issues with this is untradeable packs as part of these League SBCs. That is unacceptable. It will not mean in any way that people won't do those packs. People will still do League SBCs like they did it last year and the years before, especially this year, if anything, because we have got the Icon SBCs. So there's a way you can grind League SBC to do the Icon SBCs almost for free. Apologies if the sun is shining, but it is what it is. But I have a massive issue with these untradeable packs that EA keep bringing out. I want to know why they're bringing out untradeable packs. And to me, it's a massively unfair thing they're doing. I don't understand why they're doing it. It's not rewarding people for grinding the game. So I'd like to think the reason it was taken off of the game was because they made an error. I think some people said they couldn't see the player rewards and stuff like that. But no matter what happens, League SBCs will be popular. They always are every year, especially with content creators that do them for packs to show you guys and give you stuff to do, to sort of give themselves something to do on a stream and things like that. You guys know I'm a big League SBC grinder, so I'll be showing you guys how you can grind them for free too. But it is exciting. I just don't like the way that EA are doing it this year, if that is the way it is. But it'll be interesting to see what happens when they come back onto the game. But what happened when the SBC dropped? South American, so the Libertadores and CONMEBOL Sudamericana are both South American sort of football tournaments, basically their version of the Champions League. So South American players spiked in price, and I'm going to show you a little bit. You can give you a rough idea of what happened, but this is nowhere near the full story of what actually happened last night once those SBCs dropped. So I'm going to go over now to FUTTW'S, show you guys a little bit of the graphs and whatnot, and then show you the cards that I think you should be looking at right now. I will be right back. Alright guys, so here we are on FUTTW'S. Now the reason I'm using FUTTW'S rather than FUTBIN is FUTTW'S tends to do some form of update of silver prices a bit better than FUTBIN does. If you go to FUTBIN, a lot of the time it literally just says 000, which is not true. Those of you that traded with me last year will know that they were terrible for updating prices. If anything, it made it easier to make coins. Now, what do we need to think about with regards to yesterday and our thought process today? We know inherently, we can see it, and I'll show you in a minute, that centre-backs from Argentina, I think Colombians did quite well as well, centre-mid, strikers, they all did really well because you have to use them in these SBCs. Now, that may change. Understand that when you trade, things will change. Things are a risk. I would be mindful of that without a doubt. But it's important to know that you can mitigate your risk. And we'll talk about mitigating the risk in a second in terms of buying on the game. But let's look at FUTTW'S and see what we're doing first. So this is FUTTW'S and this is the Argentinian centre-backs. These were the ones yesterday. Some of them got as high as 7,000 coins. All you got to do when you get onto FUTTW'S is just sort them down. Go Nation, Argentina, go to position, which I've done centre-back, and go to item, silver. And it brings them all up. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples so you get an idea of what they did yesterday, so you know where they're at. So Martin Nervo, for example. This here is exactly why I tell you guys to pre-invest for League SBCs. On Friday, sat at 500 coins, roughly, give or take. And by yesterday he hit 1,500. Now, we know that's not true because you can see up here, on Xbox, he got to 2,700 coins. As high at points as some of these cards that were listed were 6,500. Now, is he going to sell for 6,500? Possibly not. But either way, it gives you an idea that that spike there is nearly three times. 3 times the value what that card had 2 days ago. 3 times that value. That is nothing to be sniffed at whatsoever. If you can pay 500 coins for a card and make 1,500 coins from that card, if you're tripling your investment before tax, that is an unreal amount of coins to be making on this game. And that is why I brought the guide out for you guys. Now, if you're a website subscriber, I've literally given you every single filter for every single top 5 league team that has a silver that needs to be used in that position potentially. And I'd advised you before, and I'm going to advise you again now. Go out and buy one of every single of that card for that position. So if it's Leeds centre-backs, for example, buy one of every single Leeds silver centre-back and leave them in your club. Forget they exist. You'll thank me later on when you're making, from a 100k spend, you're making 500k profit. But we can get an idea. So we know yesterday there was some form of demand for this card because, cool, he saw a massive spike. Let's have a look at Christian Romero here, who is the guy from Atalanta, I think it was. Again, not quite as high at the moment, but again, saw quite a hefty rise. He's leveled off a little bit, but apparently 3 hours ago he was 2,500 coins. If we look at, let's have a look at Sanchez, see what he's doing. Figal, for example. So this guy, 4 hours ago, 4,000 coins he was, right? And I've just picked one up a minute ago for 1,500 coins. Again, was quite low, sort of 1,100, 1,800. He absolutely spiked on Xbox. It's interesting, though, that he didn't quite spike on PS4 according to that graph. Again, don't believe everything you see with graphs. It's so important, especially with silvers. Because, again, this is telling you that his average price, yes, there was 1,400 coins, and that's great. We know that. That's all good. But we know 4 hours ago he was on the market at 1,700, and the nearest one to that was 2,400. So we know full well these guys saw a spike. So we're able to look at those and think, right, let's invest in them. And you can do the same thing with other things. You can go, okay, cool. So we looked at centre-backs. We know they spiked yesterday. Now let's go position and let's go, I don't know, let's go striker maybe. I think striker might be a bit meh, but we'll have a little look. So Bustos didn't see a club. So this Bustos here, I'm assuming is the one that's an old one. Let's go Pizzetto. Has he actually got one? So Pizzetto is the same one that I'm assuming he's gone from Watford to Udinese now because he's not too expensive. But let's have a look. Again, it's telling you that on Monday he crashed on PlayStation. He didn't because he's up anyway. Xbox is up, so we know he went up yesterday with the demand. Nahul Bustos, did he see any rise? Again, did see a decent rise yesterday. He's leveled off a little bit now, but again, these prices here are realistically anomalies though, because below them, you've got more of the accurate prices around him. So we know that yesterday, Argentinian centre-backs and strikers did relatively well off of that SBC coming out. Now, you have to caveat it with, EA took those league SBCs down for a reason. Now, we don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because of the untradeable rewards or whatever the reason was. But it does mean you have to be careful because EA might bring it back with different requirements. They may have seen the Argentinian centre-backs were going absolutely crazy and thought, actually, this isn't right, and we're going to try and fix these requirements. So just be mindful of that. But you can mitigate your risk because you can see the cards that rose on FUTTRADING and go, right, let me go and buy into those. And they're the ones that I'm going to look at specifically. What we're going to do now is go over to the game. I'm going to show you some of the cards that I have bought and just show you the things that you can be doing to get an idea of what the cards are actually going to sell for and actually potentially make yourself some profit now before they even come out. So I'll be right back with that. I'll see you in 2 seconds time. All right, legends. So we are back on the game. I do want to show you something before we get started. Those of you who watched my silver sniping video on how to find silver filters and sniping filters based upon SBC content. I showed you the silvers that I bought in that video. I want to show you the silvers that we sold, so you've got an idea that they all sold. All these guys sold, and CHEM, for example, I said we get about 6,000 coins for him, we did. And all these guys here that continually sold over the course of the last 24 hours to compete as SBCs. Still got a few more selling, but not too many more. These guys here are ones that we pre-invested in, but didn't actually need in the end. But yeah, still got a few more to sell, but just so you know, I don't tell you guys to do something that isn't going to work unless I think it's going to work myself. Anyway, what I'm going to show you now is basically the way that I would look at this now. I go, okay, cool. First thing I need to think about is if EA don't bring out the SBCs requiring the same requirements, are cards going to rise quite the same way? I don't know. But I know that 4 hours ago and up until now, most of those centre-backs are sitting at about 1,500 coins anyway, okay? So they're going to hold a price for at least a little bit of time. What I'm going to go and do is I'm going to get onto this. I'm going to look at all these cards and I'm going to pick up anything that I think is below maybe 1,500 coins I'm going to buy. Now, to be fair with you, I'm going to buy every single one of these. The reason why I'm buying this one here is because in the Italian league is off league. That Figal, we know we saw a big rise in him yesterday. These guys here, we'll just pick them up. I'm going to pick up every single one of them. I would advise keeping your buy on any of these cards to 1,500 coins, 1,000 coins max, because you don't want to run the risk. For me, I don't care. I'm willing to risk it. But I went out today and I picked up a load of centre-backs to see what they do, basically. For me, I'm sitting there chilling on these cards thinking, what are they going to do? If they spike like they did last night, then fantastic. I'm then going to do the same thing with strikers. I'm going to go, okay, cool, silver rare. Let's have a little look. And the reason I'm doing silver rare is because, again, it helps in terms of the limiting the risk in case it asks you for a rare card, in case it asks for rare cards as part of the SBC. But there are a load of cards here that are under that price, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to go and buy one of every single one. Like, I'm going to buy one of each, or pretty much buy up all these here. Does it mean that these are all going to spike in price and make profit off of them? No, it doesn't. But what it does mean is if one or two of these absolutely nails it. I don't know what the requirements were yesterday because I wasn't on the game to see it. If one or two of these absolutely spikes up and hits like some of the centre-backs did yesterday up to sort of 6,000, 7,000 coins, it doesn't really matter if they don't all do that because I'm covered off by the fact that one of them or two of them is doing that. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go out and buy these and leave them stack in my club because they're fine. The other option I've also got now, and this is the one that's probably the most relevant here, is to look and come up with the combinable sort of Libertadores card. So what I can do is, we've got the Libertadores here, for example. I can do Striker Argentinian. And some of these cards are going to be needed. Now, if you look here, there are some silver ones. These are the ones that I'm most interested in. I'm not really so interested in the 75 rated ones and those high, because they come in packs quite consistently. The ones that I care about are these ones. Purely because they are, again, there's a finite supply of them. We don't really know what the supply is going to be like. This is a bronze one. What the supply is going to be like tonight. And I just want to see, for me, I want to see what they do and see if, as the SBC comes out and people do them, they're going to spike. Now, under 1,000 coins there, we picked up, I think, 3 of them. So then there's not that much supply of them, 4 of them even. There's not that much supply of them. So for me, I'm happy. I'm going to pick those up and leave them sat there. And what I'm going to do now is chill. I'm going to go and chill and relax and not worry too much about it. The time to come to sell these is really when that SBC comes out again. What you will see happen is everyone that's pre-invested usually spams the market with their cards. So the market rises as people take the finite supply of card off. Everyone that sees the market rises then spams it, market drops again. And then usually bit by bit over the course of a few days, those cards start getting taken off the market again and the market climbs up again. And that's usually when I come to sell because I let the market sort itself out. But I tend to buy in as low as possible to limit my risk on that, full stop. Now that's great for the Conmebol Libertadores and Sudamericana. They're a lot harder to read though than the top 5 leagues. So I cannot stress this enough. Go onto FUTTRADING and FUTTW'S. Go into each team that's been newly promoted into a league or whatever it is and check out their silver positions. And when you see their silver positions, go and buy one of every single card for that position. So if it's 5 lead centre-backs, buy one of each of those lead centre-backs. Stick them in your club. Forget they exist. You will thank me later, I promise you. But that is going to be the end of the video. If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing down below. Clicking the like button, all that good stuff. It's massively appreciated. But for now, lads, I am out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.